Hello, welcome to the demonstration corner. Today we'll be talking about the measurement platform, the MP-1. This is our marquee transient method for running multiple methods. Specifically today we're going to talk about how each MP-1 controller comes with a 4-channel integrated switch. 1 in the front and 3 in the back. And we'll talk a little bit about what that brings to the instrument's power and capability, especially for a very busy laboratory. But before we do that, we're in our demonstration corner here. We typically will turn the camera around a little bit and talk about the different instruments that are here that are available for one-on-one training, one-on-one demonstrations, as well as we do these weekly live demonstrations to demonstrate our Thermtest products, which is fairly diverse. Coming to the first one here is our GHFM01. This is guarded heat flow meter following ASTM E1530. This is specifically designed for measuring complex materials, heterogeneous materials, or layered that are non-repeating through the thickness. It measures thermal resistance and thermal conductivity up to 300 Celsius. It is a guarded method, so you have a high confidence one-dimensional heat path that you get from your results. And that follows ASTM E1530. The sample size is a standard 2-inch, but the thickness can vary from thin film up to 1-inch thick. The next steady state instrument we have is our heat flow meter. This is our HFM 100. The 100 stands for the thickness capacity, which is 100 millimeters or 4 inches. This has a standard size of 12 by 12 inch or 300 millimeters square and up to 4 inches thick. We have another one that's the HFM 50. That one is 8 inches square and up to 2 inches thick. We have a high temperature version of the HFM 100. So the basic temperature is minus 20 to 75 degrees plate temperature. The high temperature version is minus 30 to 110 Celsius. So those are our heat flow meter series. Coming over here is our TPS2. This follows ISO 22007-2, the new 2022 standard. This measures solids, pastes, and powders, isotropic, anisotropic, thin films, slab materials. There's 2 basic configurations, up to 100 watts per meter Kelvin and up to 500 watts per meter Kelvin. This is our transient hot wire for measuring the thermal conductivity, thermal diffusivity, and specific heat of liquids following ASTM 7896. Basic temperature, it has an integrated temperature because when you're measuring liquids, you often include temperature. That's a fairly critical characterization to understand heat transfer fluids. This one is configured for 10 to 200 degrees. It's all integrated using our proprietary temperature platform. It can be back pressured so that you can test past boiling points. The full temperature range option is cryogenic up to 300 Celsius. This is our little heat flow meter. Again, we've designed that for measuring small format insulation when you want to measure the true value of heterogeneous insulation. That smallest sample size is 50 by 50 by 2 millimeters thick. And then down the end we have our MP2, which combines several primary sensors that are also available on the MP-1, but at a much lower scale of capability and cost. Transient plane source, transient hot wire, and transient line source. So coming back to the MP-1, we're going to just briefly demonstrate a few of the configurations that you can do, again, for a busy laboratory or a laboratory that needs diversity of methods. Again, the channel serves 2 purposes in each of those situations. If it's high volume, that's easy to understand because you can connect multiple devices and power through with our smart scheduling software a lot of materials. You can also have a high volume with different methods and achieve the same goal. Here we have one, again, you can look at just the controller by itself with a room temperature sample holder and expand into the future, but if you have your needs immediately, this is a transient plane source temperature platform configured for 0 to 300. It can be expanded cryogenic up to 300 Celsius. This is, again, a THW temperature platform, similar to the L1, but integrated into the MP-1. This is configured for 10 degrees to 200, but can be expanded minus 160 to 300 Celsius. Again, you can back pressure to test past boiling points. So you can do, because there's 4 channels, 1 in the front and 3 in the back, you can do any combination of these if you need that volume or diversity of methods. Here we have set up is 2 room temperature sample holders running 2 different samples. We have a sample inside the TPS temperature platform and a sample inside the THW platform. So we have 2 methods running, one at temperature, another method running at temperature, and 2 running on the bench. And I'll just show you the software quickly, how the scheduling software works with that. So here you can see our home, our data acquisition software. This is the home. It auto detects everything that's connected to it. So again, we have our controller, and in channel 1 through 4, we have port 1 through 4, I should say. We have a temperature platform for each method, and 2 room temperature sample holders just on the bench. So you could do any combination thereof. We've got some data running in the background, and you can see the index of what is scheduled. Right now we're running 5 of 5 on one of the room temperature sample holders. And you can see we have scheduled. We already have 1 completed down here. So this was port 1, measurement of stainless steel on port 1, liquids. This one's scheduled for 20 to 80 Celsius in 10-degree increments. And we have another, this is the port controlling the temperature platform for the TPS. We have scheduled 25 to 300 Celsius in 25-degree increments. Now all of that will be automatically measured in sequence, taking advantage of the capacity of the controller. So there's our MP-1 with the auto recognition of what's connected to it. Another example of that, we thought we'd just, I'm going to turn the camera back. Another example of that we thought we'd demonstrate is if you had a high volume and you wanted different methods or different temperatures for each method or individual methods. So this is one MP-1. We took these out of stock. These are brand new units. This is the back of an MP-1. There's 3 channels. So these would be switch channels that run sensors, and there's one in the front. So just to demonstrate some of the substantial capacity that you can add to one of these MP-1s, there's 2 temperature platforms for the TPS method and 2 temperature platforms for the transient hot wire method. And you could have 4 of one method or 4 of the other method. Another example of this would be, so if you didn't rather need to run individual samples at different temperatures and increase your volume that way, let's say you want to run 4 samples at the same temperature, auto-scheduled, and run the next set of 4 samples, or 1, 2, or 3, or 4 samples at another temperature. We can configure a programmable, so it's auto-controlled by the MP-1 software. In the unit itself, there's 4 sample holders inside this oven that are all connected via cable that again would plug into each channel. And this allows you to run 4 samples at the same temperature and then go to another temperature and run 4. This is popular with measuring high volume of the same temperature in different sequences. We have several customers doing polymer melts, so a polymer melt cell in each one of these. High volume, they can turn out a large number of samples a day, including temperature control. So that's really nice. And this can control up to 300 Celsius. We have another version that can go up to 400 Celsius. All fully automated. The channels are fully automated and the temperature steps are fully automated. So that's the 2 examples of extreme. If you just wanted to measure 4 at room temperature, you could just do away with all these and have some combination of room temperature sample holders on the bench, and you're still taking advantage of the volume. And all of this can be expanded as you need it. So that's just a little demonstration of the versatility of the switch. The key partner in that is the scheduling software that allows you to maximize that and walk away and know that all this data is being generated and ready for you when you need the data. Other than that, I think that covers what we want to talk about today. Look forward to, if you have any questions, please contact us, info@thermtest.com, and we're happy to share more about the MP-1 or any one of our products. Thank you.